Hey, it's BT with the BT Bruno 2018 review in association with Sport Bikes Inc. Go to www.sportbikesinc.com. Great magazine. It's free. Two of my favorite F's, free and food. We can't do anything about the food, but you can get the free. You can watch it for free, read it for free. It's got everything in it. Anyway, let's get to the review. Nothing like a break, man. I mean, as much as we love GP, a little break is good, especially if you're in the United States like I am. We have to watch the races 3 or 4 in the morning. I'm doing this to try to stay awake on qualifying day and on race day. I'm drinking energy drinks. I'm drinking coffee. I'm literally doing this. And I'm not gonna say I did cocaine, but man, if I was some cocaine, I'd do it. I mean, you're trying to stay awake and watch the races. So a break is good, but man, we came back. Everybody was ready to go. Let's get to it. First of all, let's talk about Moto 3. Moto 3, you know what? Overall, this might have been the best weekend for GP, period. I'm talking all 3 races were lit. Starting off with Moto 3. Moto 3, Jorge Martin, damn, I feel for the kid. He broke his wrist. If anything to break, your wrist is the worst. Other than your neck, you can pretty much ride with everything except for your wrist and your neck, because you can't just turn around like, oh boy, I'm getting on the track. I hope nobody's there. So your wrist, you need your wrist, you need your throttle hand, you need your brake. So the 2 things that you don't want to break are your neck and your wrist and hand, and that's what Jorge Martin did. He broke it. High side and FP1. He got an operation done. He should be okay. He's going to try to race in Austria, which is going to be interesting. It makes you wonder who really wants the Moto 3 title. It was up for Bezzecchi. All Bezzecchi had to do, if he would have won this race or got on the podium, he could have done damage, but he didn't. He finished 6th, and so he's ahead in the standings, but only about 3 points. Martin he's only behind about 3 points, and he didn't even race. Who wants this title in Moto 3? It's incredible. And you got to give it to Fabio Di Antonio. That's his roommate. That's his teammate. He finally got his first victory. You know, he got screwed out of that thing, and he got screwed out of his victory in Le Mans. So he finally had his first victory. Congrats to the kid. He had a great run. And how about Jakob Kornfeld? Here's how old Jakob Kornfeld is. Jakob Kornfeld is like the Romano Fenati of Moto 3 this year. Here's how far Jakob goes back. He raced with Marquez when it was 125s. Yeah, it wasn't even Moto 3 and Jakob Kornfeld was racing. Seriously, he is the Morgan Freeman of of Moto 3. It's like, how long you been here, Jakob? Well, I remember when it was 125. So we used to race all the time, and it was me and Danny Pedrosa. Anyway, so congratulations to Jakob Kornfeld getting a podium at his home track. How great is that, man? So congratulations to him, and like I said, also to Jorge Martin, still second in the standings by only 3 points. Congratulations. Moto 2, you got to give it to Luca Marini, even though Oliveira won the race. Gotta get to Luca Marini. That's Rossi's brother. You know why you love the kid? Because he doesn't really have confidence in himself. And for some reason, I love that. You know, it's like that girl, the Tom girl. And like she plays with the boys like all the way up to like 8th grade. And then she goes on the summer, she comes back and she hits puberty. You know what I mean. And you're like, hey, what's going on, Kathy? And she's like, hey guys, what's going on? And you go, oh my God, Kathy. And she wonders why everybody's looking at her weird, and she didn't know she's pretty yet. And that's what Luca Marini is, man. Luca Marini is like that hot chick Tom girl who went away for the summer, hit puberty, and came back. And she's like really hot, but she didn't realize it. That's what Luca Marini is, man. He is talented. He gave Miguel Oliveira all he wanted, and then some, and racing to the final. I mean, going to the final turn, you're like, oh, Luca! I was rooting for him. I want him to do well. He even sounds like Rossi. Remember they interviewed him after the race? He was like, it's like Rossi. He's just, I mean, that's his brother, and you got to give it to him, man. I love the kid. He is like, he still doesn't have confidence in himself, which I love. I think it's great. So anyway, congratulations. The Moto 2 race was off the chain. I don't know about Alex Marquez. I felt so bad to watch him slide out. I just don't think this is the year for him. I stuck with him for a long time. I don't think this is the year for him anyway. Let's go to MotoGP. GP, wow. And you know what? Mark Marquez called it. I had a friend talking about the race was kind of boring, and I thought, no, it wasn't boring. I mean, granted, it was a slower race because the temperature changed. They were trying to manage the tires, and it was a little bit cooler than it normally was. It was a little bit cooler. So with that, they had to manage the tires, and it was a slower race. But like Marquez said in the press conference, it's better for the show. Remember when Jorge J-Lo, when he won back in, I think, 2010, I think it was. And it was basically a parade. I remember watching the race, and it was a parade. He would get out in front, and the race was over. And you're like, this isn't fun. And that's what it wasn't. But now it's great because those guys, even though it was very little passing, there was passing. Those guys were on each other with Marquez dicing it up with J-Lo. And then Rossi took the lead, and then Dovey took the lead. But Marquez called it the whole weekend. He goes, Dovey was the one to watch out for, and Dovey was the one that won it. Let me tell you something. Head to head, you can't beat Dovey head to head. He has beaten Marquez every chip of the choo-choo, every trip. He has beaten Marquez. He has beaten Lorenzo. Dovey head to head cannot. He is the man. We talk about Rossi. We talk about Marquez. You can't beat Dovey. If you want to just scrap, just drop everything. Let's go hand to hand. You can't beat Dovey. Dovey beat Marquez in Qatar. He beat Marquez 3 times last year, twice in the rain. Remember last year? Dovey is the man. So you got to give it to Dovey. Great race. And watch him. I really think the second half of the season, watch Dovey and watch Lorenzo. And they might take points from each other. That's the thing about it. They're taking points from each other. So Marquez doesn't matter. Marquez knows Rossi's second, right? Rossi's second. So all he has to do is finish above Rossi, and he's good. Until Dovey gets to the point. If Dovey starts winning 3 or 4 in a row, then Marquez is like, uh-oh, I got to beat Dovey. But until then, all he has to do is stay ahead of Rossi, and he's got this thing. Like a lot can happen, though. You know how Marquez rides? A lot can happen. It's motorsport. He can get injured. God forbid he doesn't. But that's the great thing about this sport. You got to give it up for Dovey for going head to head and beating these guys. I thought it was a great race. I really did. I like watching that tension of, okay, what's going to happen? Even though they did follow each other, you knew it was going to happen. It's like you ever watch a track race and they're running and it's a decent little pace and they're running and they're running and they're running and all of a sudden it's like, whoa. And that's what it was like. You felt it, the tension. It was like a good movie. You watched the tension and it's like, okay, here we go. Got 30 minutes left in the movie. Oh, okay, the last 5 laps, last 4 laps, 3 laps. Here we go. What's going to happen? Here comes Lorenzo. Oh boy, here comes Marquez. Marquez on the inside. Oh, and that's what it was like watching that race. So anyway, thought it was great. But the story of the whole weekend has to be in the pits, the Yamaha pit, with Ramon Fracata. That's Maverick Vinales' pit crew, crew chief. He and Maverick aren't getting along, and they have split, or they're going to split. End of the year, they're splitting. Maverick next year is going to get Bradley Smith's old crew chief, Esteban Garcia. He's coming over, but until then, here's the deal. Maverick wanted to go with two soft rear tires for qualifying for FP3. And Ramon was like, no, we're gonna do this. And man, no, I want to do this. He goes, no, we don't have these 2 soft rears. I know what I'm doing. And when he got off the bike, when he got off the bike, they say Vinales went like, yeah, nice job. Now I gotta go through Q1 with all the losers. Okay, I gotta go with the losers because you didn't listen to me. Now Maverick cleaned it up when they interviewed him. They said, why did you clap? They said it was sarcastic. Maverick goes, no, I was clapping because I'm stupid. Basically. This is what he said, Cliff Note version. I'm stupid. I should have listened to myself. That's what he said. But it is a lot of tension. Matter of fact, if you had a knife, you couldn't even cut the tension in the Yamaha garage. Like, is that tension? This is delicious. Can you put some syrup and some ice cream on this tension? This is delicious. Because let me tell you something. Rossi inadvertently took all the pressure off of Vinales because he's on the front row. Now, both of their bikes aren't really working, but Rossi's is working better. And what people don't realize, and they're giving Maverick a lot of flack because how he went about it. Okay, when Rossi split with Jeremy Burgess, right? Sorry about that, my nose is running. I got allergies. Anyway, when Rossi split with Jeremy Burgess, right, he had a press conference and they said, hey, good working with you, good work. He talked to him beforehand, told him, hey, this is not working with us. I got to split up with you. Let's do this. And they had a press conference and it was good and it's cordial. What Maverick did was he told Yamaha and he didn't tell Fracata. So Fracata's like, what? He split with what? It's like finding out you getting a divorce after you come home and all your wife's shit is like out of the house. Like, what? You want a divorce? We just went to pizza last night. And you want a divorce? I thought we were getting along good. We got naked. We took a shower together this morning. And now you want to split up with me? That's what that's like. So Fricado was angry that Maverick didn't talk to him. Supposedly Maverick just went to Yamaha and said, hey, man. And Fricado's like, what? And he didn't really talk. And Fricado said that. He goes, really? He didn't say anything to me. This is all Cliff Note version. He didn't say anything to me. All of a sudden I find out I'm out in the street. So basically that's what's happened. They split up. Maverick was frustrated with him before, though. Remember in I don't know if you remember in Le Mans, where Maverick was like, I was so angry. I was trying to crash at every corner just to prove to them that we made the wrong tire choice. So there's a lot of tension in the Yamaha garage. And also, even Rossi says it. Rossi says they don't listen to me. And he goes, when they see me coming, the Yamaha factory people, they run they run and hide because they know he's going to ask, when are we getting changes? When are we getting the changes? They're going to be testing here in Bruno in about 2 hours. So it's when I'm recording. It's about 2 hours. So we're going to see if the Yamaha's supposed to get the updates. They're supposed to get the changes. And if they do, even without the changes, you got to give it to Rossi. But like I said, Rossi inadvertently is taking the pressure away from Vinales because it's like, well, look what Rossi's doing, not realizing that Maverick is kind of, it's like, you ever walk into a room and you just feel that, oh boy, something is not right. That's what it's like. It's like, ooh. You ever had your mom and dad not get along and you walk in like, okay, this is not good. And you kind of slowly back up. That's what's going on in Yamaha right now. Anyway, so I don't know what's going to happen. I feel for Maverick. Dave Emmett said it best. If you look at Rossi's garage, he has everybody in there, everybody and then some. Maverick pretty much just rolls by himself. I mean, watch. He's pretty much by himself. There's something to be said about that. I roll by myself too, and it's good, but at the same time, it's always good to bounce stuff off of people. You know what I mean? So even though he doesn't have an entourage, which is good, it's different. Like you look at Rossi, he's got all these people, and his people can talk to other people with his people within his people. But when you're by yourself, it's just you. And if you're pissed off at somebody and you don't know how to communicate, then it's like, you know what? I'm pissed off. I ain't talking to you. I'm gonna talk to Lynn. And now Yamaha has got a whoa. It's like Hatfields and McCoys in that garage. Anyway, so that's the GP review. Like I said, apologize for that. My nose is running. But that's the GP review. I thought it was a great week. I thought it was the best weekend of racing that GP has had. Overall, the best, and I mean it, the best weekend of racing GP's ever had. Riders of the race, Moto 3. Give it to Fabio DG Antonio, his first victory. Congratulations to the kid. And Moto 2, got to give it to Luca Marini. Man, I love that kid. He doesn't have confidence in himself yet, and still he had 2 podiums in a row. God bless that kid. And for Moto GP, got to give it to Dovey. Dovey did the damn thing, man. He got pole. He won the race like he was supposed to, and Marquez even called it. So anyway, thought it was great. Thanks for watching. If you want to follow me on Twitter or my Instagram, funnyman6869, funnyman6869, funnyman6869. Until then, you know the word.